opened up my own design business because I gotta work because these kids are making me crazy. I love them, but you know. So I had my design business going, got invited to a party. I would go to parties all the time to support my friends, you know, and like we were talking about earlier, oh my gosh, do I gotta go to another one? And so I almost wasn't gonna go to this one, and I went and loved the product, so I thought I'll just buy the kit, get in, get out, and I'm good to go. And I thought I'll just, you know, put out my business cards for my design at these parties that I would do so I could pay the kit off, and then I'd just be on my way, you know, in a month or two. And so I paid everything off in 5 events, and my husband thought I was a nut, my ex-husband now. Got rid of that. He thought I was kind of crazy, but then all of a sudden this thing took on a life of its own. And people started coming to me, what do you do? How do you do this? I want to do what you're doing. This looks like a lot of fun. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it, but I'll find out. So I started doing it, and it got to the point where I had these 3 little kids, and I'm running them to all their little activities. So those of you with children, you know how crazy that can be. And then I was doing my interior design work. I was remodeling a country club, and then I was doing the jewelry as well. So I said, oh my gosh, I can't do it all. What do I do? And my husband said, which one makes you more money and works you less? And it turned out to be the direct sales business. So I shelved everything else, finished it, and then next thing I know, this business took on a life of its own. More people started asking about it. They wanted to know more information. They wanted to start their own business. And so I just would literally back then, because it's almost 12 years, I didn't have anybody to train me. I would take CDs and pop them in my car, and I'd drive around town with the kids listening, and then when I'd go to their activities and they were practicing, I'd be writing notes and taking notes, you know. And so ended up just morphing this into a crazy business, and I built over $1 million sales team. I still have a lot of the girls with me to this day, making 6 figures many, many years in the direct sales industry, 125 grand every year, taking my ex-husband on all kinds of trips and paying for all my kids' activities and all that fun stuff. So I tell you all that not to brag, but for you to understand that this is a real business. All those numbers you guys were talking about, those are real. And I have friends that are doing this Plexus business. Actually, I take the product. I actually have an account. The level I'm at in the company that I'm still with does not allow me to grow another business because I'm under contract with them at that time. So at some point I may step out, I don't know. But my girlfriend that I grew up with in middle school, she came to me to one of the workshops that we do at Productive Learning, which is the company that I work with that does professional growth. And she walked in to do this workshop, and she comes up and she says, I want to be like you. She goes, I'm going to be like you someday in this business. And I was like, oh. And she goes, but I'm doing it with this product. And she flipped up this thing with Plexus. And I was like, what is it? And so she tells me, and I said, well, you know what, I'll help you. I said, whatever you need, I'll train you, and I want you to do as well as I have. So I watched her just do some incredible, incredible things, and she's working her way on up. And so I got an account with her. My son takes the Plexus Slim. I do the bio, what do you call it?
Probio 5
or whatever, and I do the bio cleanse, the probiotic, and then the bio cleanse. Love it. And then tonight I'm like, well, oh, maybe I need to start drinking this pink drink too. And I've got it sitting on the kitchen counter, so you know I most likely will. So I ended up going back corporate because I ended up training a lot. I wrote several classes for the direct sales industry with the company I was with, and taught them at their national conferences in front of 3,000-4,000 people at a time. And I kept having people come up to me afterward, 2-3 years later, saying to me, oh my gosh, I took your class, all the principles I love, I use them, and my business is going great, and you don't know me, but thank you so much. So I was like, oh gosh, there must be something to this, you know? And so I thought, if all the people are saying that in my company, who else out there needs what I was talking about? Getting past obstacles, trying to get people to call you back, meeting people one-on-one. How do I get appointments, whether it's a one-on-one, 2 or 3 people together, or if you're gonna actually do a booking and an event party plan like I used to do. So I ended up getting more into the mindset, how our thought process works, because how many of you have signed somebody on, they are gung-ho, you think they're gonna be your next rock star, and the next minute they're doing nothing. You know, it's like, oh yeah. I mean, we all can relate to that. So we would get super excited, and then they would do nothing, and then we'd go, well, what are we doing wrong? What did I do wrong? And then you'd have people sign on, and they'd have their person come up, and they'd be go, oh Heather, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this person, they're gonna be my rock star. And then all of a sudden they would do nothing, and then they'd be all disappointed, and they're going, maybe this business isn't gonna work for me. So I tried to get them to understand that you train everybody the same. Bring everybody in the same, train them all the same, give them a great foundation for whatever your company gives you to train people with. And guess what? The people that want it, they're going to be the cream of the crop. They're going to rise to the top, and the others will just kind of either stay lower, which is fine, or they'll go away. And you know what? You work with the ones that want to work.
Exactly.
Okay? And so I had another analogy from another trainer that I used to work with years ago. She said it's kind of like having eagles and ducks. You're going to get your eagles, and there's going to be few and far between of those. Like I always would say, if I had 10 of me, I'd be retired.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of ducks can give you a lot of good income and make a really solid team. So don't discount those people that also are not going to be doing a ton either. If they're consistent over time, that's okay. You can still be a duck, you know, and make your $300 a month. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but most households that are suffering every single month, they're one paycheck usually away from financial disaster, and it's usually between $300 to $600.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep.
$300 to $600 will make or break a family, and if they can do that by your product and signing up a couple people that's really going to help them health-wise, I mean, you are giving them a gold mine, really. So I tell you that kind of story. So how I got into this was it's all about the mindset, because we can go into our business all gun-ho. We can think we're going to do the best ever. We've got all these action steps to take, but then all of a sudden we stop, or they stop and they don't take them. Why is that? And it's usually because it starts up here first in our thought process, okay? So that's what I want to talk to you about. Does your thinking limit your success? Or more importantly, how is it limiting our success, okay? Because we're going to come up with assumptions, stories, BS that we tell ourselves every single day, okay? And we do it all the time. And then it holds us back. And we end up, instead of wanting to pick up the phone and talk to somebody, walk up to somebody in, you know, a store or the bank or whatever, instead of introducing yourself and finding out what they're doing and telling your story, we would rather go scrub the toilet. It's honest. Honest to God, people would rather do that because they're fearful. Somebody's going to think I'm pushy. Oh, my product's too expensive. I'm going to just, you know, not even tell them about it. Oh, there's all these other companies that sell what we sell, and there's too many reps around me. You know what? I don't care how many dang reps are around you. That's the biggest false thing that you can ever imagine. That 3,000 reps that you guys were talking about in California, first of all, that is nothing, okay, in a state of 38 million. But more importantly, people would say to me all the time, how many reps are around you, Heather, that are selling the jewelry? And I would say, I have reps surrounding me because they're all mine. I went out there and I talked to everybody, okay? But they're all around me. I'm surrounded by them. But guess what? My calendar's always full. Why? Because I'm out there talking to people and I'm building rapport. And the people that you build rapport with, they want to shop with you and be with you time and time again. So you have to remember that. You may have all these reps that are around you, but don't let that intimidate you. Because guess what? They may just be buying the product just to have it for themselves, or they may just be telling about it periodically. Not everybody's out there building a business, okay? So don't worry about what's around you. Just get out there and talk to people. Build rapport. People want to work with people they like and people they can trust, okay? So that's kind of my thing about that. So I want to get us started really quickly on this because I know it's getting kind of late, and I know you all want to get home.
You take your time.
I got to catch a plane at 8:30 tomorrow. So does your thinking limit your success? We're going to start first with what I call a game, okay? So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and when I do, I'm going to have you formulate the answer in your mind. Don't yell it out, and then I'm going to survey you and have you guys give me some answers, okay? All right, so here we go. Usually I'll do a PowerPoint, but I decided because we were already kind of running late, we'll just quickly do it this way. All right, so which of these following numbers are the most unique or different? Okay. Which of the following numbers are the most unique or different? Just kind of look at it, see what you think. All right, so I'm going to ask you, how many of you feel it's this? Okay, why is that?
Because you only have to rely on one.
Okay.
There's nobody else there.
Okay, just a low number. All right, who else? I know there was other hands, don't be shy. Yes.
Well, it's only one digit.
Okay, only one digit. What else?
Kind of what you said. Everything else is multiple, but it starts with one.
Yeah, and it's a lone standing number. Yeah, exactly. All right, anybody else for that? Yes.
It has the least amount of letters.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Yeah, sure.
But numbers
Yes.
The power of one.
The power of one, or one is
Yeah.
the loneliest number.
Yeah.
So a lot of times somebody really young says that, and I'm like, that's Three Dog Night. How do you know that? Anyhow, so all right, so we've got that one. How many feel it's this one that's the most unique or different? Yeah.
It's not too low, not too high.
Not too Okay. And I have a lot of people always say it's got that stigma, the bad stigma, you know, oh, 13, you know, it's a bad day. And it's funny because one of the girls that I work with, her parents were both born on Friday the 13th. So she thinks it's a great number. It's the perception that we have, okay? And then how about this? How many feel this is the most unique or different? Yes, why?
Just because it has the dashes.
Exactly, 2 words, okay? Anybody else? Anything different?
30, and then it's also the 1.
I like that. Somebody said the other day when I did one, they go, nobody celebrates 31. You know, I'm like, it's true, we don't have a 31 birthday, right? So I have to tell you, you're all correct, okay? There is no right or wrong answer. They all can be unique or different, so we can make a case for all of them. However, this is a brain teaser, because remember, I want you to get thinking. And tonight I am going to poke you a little bit, and I might make you feel uncomfortable, but when I do it, it's going to be out of love, okay? Because I want you to see where your thinking goes, okay? So this is a brain teaser, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you the same question, but in a little bit of a different way, and then I want to see if you can come up with a different answer. Sound good? Okay. So which of these following 6 numbers is the most unique or different? Or how about this? Out of these 6 numbers, which one is the even number? 2. Gotcha. All right. So we all saw it like this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything to the right is what we choose from. Everything to the left is the bullet points.
There's the teachers are like, no.
So why do we look at it like that? Where do we get that from? Why do we want to look at it like that? Yeah. Yeah. And how far back?
Elementary.
Oh yeah. 5 years old, maybe 6. Yeah, 7. So that's a rule. Okay, that's a rule that we're given. Over time, we use that rule time and time again. And there are other rules that we get given to us from the time we're a child all the way up to now. And many, many times the rules do apply, but sometimes they don't. Okay? However, in this rule, it wasn't applied now because I changed the rule on you. But yet, here we are in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, still using the same rule in the same way, and maybe it didn't apply. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So a perfect example I'll use for you, because this is a business. Let's say that you're going to go to a networking opportunity. You're going to go somewhere to find new customers, people that you want to expose your business and your product to. And so you know who your customers are. You know what they look like, you know what they sound like, you know how they act, you know who they hang around with. You just got that persona, you know who your people are. So you walk into the event and you look to this side of the room and you go, you know what, here's my people over here. I want to go talk to those people. They look like they would want my product, okay? And you look over to this side and there's a couple people in there that you think might, you know, be it, but you're like, yeah, I feel more comfortable over here. So you head over here, okay? However, maybe this Mr. Number 2, this guy that you didn't see, maybe he's over here on this side of the room and he's in with that other crowd, but yet he's the top person that would be buying your product, okay, or service, and maybe he has a ton of friends that he would refer to your business, okay? But however, you missed him because you were applying something that didn't apply. You thought your people were here and you missed an opportunity. Can you remember at some point or another that you've missed an opportunity that may have been right in front of you?
Yeah.
Because we do that, because we are creatures of habit. We just kind of go and do our thing and stay in our little mode when really there's more opportunities in front of us every single day. We're just not paying attention to it, okay? It's about learning to live on a higher conscious level of thinking, okay? So I tell you that because I want you to think about the different things and the different opportunities that are out there that you could be missing. And so I'm going to tell you one that happened to me. And this was probably about 3 years into my direct sales business. I was at a trade show and I was corporately training for the company, and then I locally trained teams as well. And I had a lot of what I call adoptees, people who weren't on my team, and I would still train them as well. And I was at this trade show, and I had this woman come walking up, and she just had it all going on. Her outfit, the way she carried herself, everything about her was screaming she'd be great in the jewelry business. So I knew I was going to tell her about the business opportunity after she was finished looking at our jewelry. And as we got talking, she started telling me that she was married to a doctor. She was very, very busy running their 3 kids around, and that she was just entertaining for him all the time. So immediately I thought to myself, she doesn't have time to have a business. She's got 3 kids. She's entertaining the husband all the time. No big deal. And so I didn't tell her about it. I gave her a product catalog and told her I'd love to, get together with her for the product. And that was that. So about a week and a half later, one of my reps came to me and they said, Heather, I have a new girl starting her own business. And I'm wondering if she can come to our training and will you train her? I said, yeah, of course, because I did it corporately and I did it locally. That was my job. So I said, give me her name. I'll put her on the list so we can get her into the system. And who do you think she said? The doctor's wife. Yeah. This particular woman went on to be one of the top salespeople in the company. You know, your emeralds and above? Yeah. She was one of those, okay? She grew a huge organization. She won more awards, walked across that stage, won more trips, made tons of money. I trained her. I trained her well. I did not make one residual income, not one dime off of her. Because of the assumption and the story, I told myself that day that she would not be interested in the business. Is there a time that you can think of that you may have passed somebody up because you just thought, oh, they're not going to be interested? Again, oh, there's other products out there that maybe they're less expensive and so somebody's going to want that instead. You know, or there's reps all around and they've probably already been talked to. Can you relate to that? Yeah. It's like we do that because that's our nature. So what I'm trying to get you to do tonight is think about more about what your nature is and how you can kind of jump out of it so that you can start seeing the opportunities that are in front of you, okay? So we have a couple of goals tonight. One, I wanted to show you about opportunities that are right in front of you. I want you to understand the basic model of human behavior. So I'm going to tell you about how your brain works and how your thought process works. We'll run through that pretty quickly. And then I want you to see how we do workshops within our workshop facility in Capistrano Beach. We do what we call interactive experiential workshops. We have found that when we get people in a workshop and we get you actually in experiences, you will retain more than if you just sit there and take notes. So when I trained the Plexus group up in Simi Valley, I went up there, gosh, it was in July, and we had probably about 35, 40 people. And it was insane, and I did, several hour workshop. There was some other people that were training, and I got these girls just going. They got their minds just whirling, and so they ended up taking one of our workshops, which is called Beyond Reasons. I'll tell you a little bit about it in the end. And I had 18 of them in November come down to Capistrano Beach. Some of them came from Fresno, others Hesperia, and then Simi Valley. Drove down. We are right on the beach in Capistrano Beach. Like our facility room looks out at the ocean, and we have hotels all there. They came down for a girls' weekend, and they charged San Clemente, Capistrano Beach, and Dana Point by storm with Plexus. It was all over Facebook. They were in Trader Joe's. It was like they were talking to everybody and signing all these people up. I got my next person. So I have to tell you, if you decide you want to come down and do something with us, they did not tap the whole community, let me tell you. There's tons of people out there. So I want to quickly go into the basic model of human behavior. And that is going to start with our thoughts, okay?
Sorry. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Click participant.
I can't hear you.
Well, yeah, the computer died. Participants, then mute all.
So anyhow, we're starting with thoughts. And I want to ask you guys, does anybody know how many thoughts we have per second? So many.
Oh, it muted us.
Some say many, some say none.
Under participant.
Okay. We have, it's a known fact, 30 thoughts per second.
Wow.
Okay, 30 thoughts. How many are you really catching, right? Okay, that is 1,800 thoughts in a minute. That is boatloads of activity firing through your brain at a rapid pace. How many are you catching? Okay, so I want to give you a little experience. Okay, so that was 90 thoughts right there. How many did you catch? Somebody usually says, oh, she's snapping her fingers, and I'll go, oh, she's got some cute shoes on, or something like that, which I do have cute shoes on.
You do.
So 90 thoughts. So the 2 or 3 that we may be caught, that's up here in our conscious level of thinking. That is your conscious level of thinking that you are aware of right then and there. The other 87, they're still firing. It's your subconscious thought process. It's firing all the time. We do things every day that we don't even have to think about. We are creatures of habit. So throw some things out at me. What are some things you can do every day and you don't even have to think about it?
Brush your teeth.
Go to the bathroom.
Drive.
Breathe.
How many of you have driven?
Oh my God.
I'm going to go to the grocery store before I go home home and you're driving into your garage and the garage goes down and you go, crap. I did it. And I teach this stuff. I'm like, well, because your mind is always going. You've got something going on. And, you know, it's a good thing because imagine if you had to every day learn how to eat again, walk again, dress yourself again. So, I mean, there is good things in that habitual nature of ours. However, it's because we are in the habitual nature that we miss things because we're just in our mode of, okay, I'm just doing my thing, you know, and then you're missing those opportunities. So we have a thought. Thought takes us into a feeling. And did you know that we can think ourselves into a feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can.
Perfect example would be, let's say you're working in an office and your boss calls you up and says, I need to see you in my office in 10 minutes. Right?
Unless I'm going to Stephanie.
What do you feel? What are you feeling?
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Yeah. Frustration, worry. Okay, and how do you know that they're not calling you up to say, you did an amazing job and I'm giving you a $10,000 raise? We don't go there. We automatically go to the assumption, we tell ourselves a story, work ourselves up into a frenzy, and then we want to clean the toilet.
Yep.
Okay? Feelings fuel your actions. And those actions can be good, bad, or non-existent. And so think about that, applying it to your business. Okay? You're either going to call someone, you're either going to meet someone, you're going to follow up with someone, you're going to do a cold call lead or a warm lead, or maybe you're not. And why it's that? Starting up here. Okay? And then from there, the action that you do, good, bad, or non-existent, gives you the results that you want in your life for your successes. Okay? So when you look at this, you can see that thoughts are directly related to the results that we're getting. And that can even be just in good conversations that you're having with your kids, your spouse, whatever. You know, everything starts with that thought. It goes into the result because you're going through this path over and over and over again. And it goes around and around until you end up with this. And it's not what you think. Maybe a little. It ends up being your belief system. Okay? Our belief system. We begin to accept the fact that some of the thoughts that we really have conjured up, those assumptions and stories that we're telling ourselves, we start believing them. We believe that they're true, and then we take action on it, and then we end up with what we get. And many, many times, we are thinking into the future continuously about something that's going to happen, okay? We get worried about it, think, oh my gosh, this and that's going to go on. It hasn't even happened yet. We don't even have the facts. And we make the decision today on that situation in the future. And we have no idea even what's going to happen. So you see how our thoughts rule us? So basically what we want to do is we want to come back up this module and figure out how do we stop that? How do we kind of get past some of this? So one of the things I want to start with, I want you guys to maybe take 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You can talk among yourself. You can think for yourself. I want you to think about a result, a goal, something that you would love to have in your life, let's say in the next 6 months, like let's say by June of this next year.
Convention.
Something that you don't have currently yet, but if you did have it, it would be a huge impact on your life. And it could be, you know, something to do with your health. It could be a trip. It could be whatever it might be. And pick something that you can share. I mean, you know, you don't want to be all wrong, you know. Pick something. This is a safe environment, so let's take 30 seconds or so. I'll give you a little time. I'm going to grab a drink of water, and then I'm going to have you throw some out at me, okay?
Do you really need 30 seconds?
Right? My goal-oriented team already knows.
That's because it's written on our monthly.
Yep. Good girl.
You're gonna do the same.
Okay. 30 seconds up. What do we got? What kind of goals, what kind of challenge would you like to overcome? A goal you'd like to attain, something that would be a big impact in your life if you changed it or had it happening in 6 months. Yes.
I have to be emerald by 6 months from now.
Yeah, me too. Ditto. All right. Ditto. The emerald.
Yeah, right?
Can you multiply that by how many people?
Yeah, how many people?
Everyone in this room, right?
Yeah, every one of them. All right, what else? Debt free. Debt free, I like that. Okay, what else?
I'd like to have my credential, my teaching credential.
Teaching credential, look at that.
I like to not work.
Let's put retire.
By the time I'm 33.
Because when you're doing your Plexus,
Yep.
you're not working.
Nope.
You're informing, you're out there having fun and stuff. I know you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say, financially independent, but it leads to retirement.
Yeah, but we'll still say it, we'll say it. We'll
Some
still
people
say
retire without being financially.
independent.
Yeah.
I'm a lefty, so my writing's always kind of.
Woohoo, yeah, girl.
Yeah. We're a little messy.
Yeah.
Alright, what else, what else?
Match my full-time income.
Match your, I love that.
Mhm.
Match full-time income. Okay.
Stephanie wants to go diamond.
How'd you know?
Diamond. Alright,
I'm just trying to hit gold.
what else? Right?
Goals.
It can be continuing to lose weight, it can be.
Yep.
I'll throw one random in.
Yeah, improved health. It can be improved.
Go ahead, Trenda. Just
Yeah,
I'll just
Trenda.
say, by June, I want to relocate
there you
where
go.
I live. I hate
Me
it.
too.
Me
I want to live on the beach. Shoot.
Relocate.
I live on a stupid golf course.
Okay, have a baby. Have a baby.
Yes.
I had somebody say that once ago. Can't help you there. But it's a goal. It's a great goal. And I would say better you than me.
I would say the same thing.
You can have mine.
I got two.
Have
You have
enough money
yours.
for a down
Yours
payment on a
yours
house.
sticks up your nose.
Money
That's a good one.
on house.
And car, you put
And
slash.
car.
House, car. All right. I love it. Anything else? Anything else you can think of that we'd love to have?
Vacation with extra money.
A cruise, yes.
All right.
Paid.
But you can get those paid for if you do.
Yep.
You're all.
And I'll tell you what, my company that I've been with all these
Oh,
years, I've taken many, many trips, and let me tell you, you gotta do it, because they're amazing.
The best ones are free, right?
For, to go and stay, like she's telling you,
Mhm.
you know, oceanfront properties, you know, first class, they pay for everything, and you're taking your spouse with, you know, and I'm assuming you guys get to take a spouse with,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
See, we did too. There are tons of companies out there, they have to earn 2 trips to be able to take the spouse.
Mhm.
When I heard that, that blew me away. I was like, I never had to do that. So you have to understand the benefits you guys have in this company is huge. In fact, I'm trying to get my son more involved. He takes the slim, and so I'm like, dude, you need to be building this. And of course, I'll help you, you know. All right, anything else that we want? This is a really good list, okay? So these are some results that we want, okay? The results that we want in our life. So when you want something, what do you usually do? What do we usually say or ask ourselves first?
Game plan?
Yeah.
How bad do you want it?
Yeah, it's the game plan. What do you do? How do I get it? You start asking yourselves, what do I need to do? Okay? So that, of course, is going to take us up to the actions.
Right.
Okay? But is there any lack of action steps out there? If we don't know how to do something, where do we go? Research. We can Google. I mean, this is an age of technology. Or you can ask a friend. How many times is there a book you can read? Or a website you can go to? Or a webinar? Or whatever. So there's no lack of action steps out there. If you don't know how to do something, you can find a way to do it. Okay? So how many of you know what to do, but you just don't do it? You know, I mean, we're creatures of habit. We kind of just know, okay? Or how about this one? How many of you know what to do, you do it, but you think you're going to get a different result, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again? That's the insanity thing. Yeah. And a lot of people do that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it again, and I know this time it's going to be a little different. So there is no lack of action steps. So if we have no lack of action steps, but we're not doing the things we need to do, we got to come up here to the feelings, because remember, feelings fuel the action, okay? But we don't technically have direct access to our feelings. We can feel something, okay? But like, let's use an example. Let's say you've had a horrible day. You've been at your office, things have gone bad, your boss was a jerk, whatever it might be, and you go home and you're just, you know, and your kids or whoever's going, oh, the sun's out, the birds are chirping, you need to be happy, and you just need to get over it. And so what do you want to do to them? Smack them. you know, because we just can't change feelings on a dime. Because if we could, I'd just say, okay, I want you all to be real happy right now and start jumping around. You know, it just doesn't happen that way, okay? So if we don't have direct access, we've got to go back up here to the thought, because remember, the thought gives us the feeling. So what we have found at Productive Learning is we have to end up bridging the gap between these two so that we can understand what we can do about our thoughts and how we can direct them better. And we found by doing that, it's by changing our perception of what's going on, okay? And so to change our perception, that's where we do our experiential learning. We don't just have people sit there and take notes. We get you involved in certain situations so that you start thinking in the moment, in the now, of how you're reacting to something, catch it, and be able to learn how to redirect it, okay? There is a way to do it. You just have to understand what your thing is, how your thought process is, and how you can grab more of them. Instead of grabbing only 3 of the 30, you learn to grab 6 or 7. Imagine the possibilities of having 50% more opportunity in front of you because you could grab more thoughts because you learned how to do it.
Right.
Okay, it's huge. So that being said, I want to put you guys into a little bit of a perception experience, okay? So if we go to our list of goodies here, all the things we would love to have, I would probably say the most common denominator out of everything would probably be more money, because don't you agree at the end of the day you'd love to have more money than the beginning of the day?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay. There's always a purpose for that. So that being said, I have some money, and I am willing to give this money to the first person who wants this money.
I do.
Yeah, get it, girl.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Tell me your name.
Trish.
Trish. Okay. So let me write Trish's name down. All right.
I had no chance.
Okay, so Trish
dress,
has got
yeah.
the money. Okay, that's like, you know, a couple sandwiches at, you know,
She's taking us to dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, we can all eat Subway,
I mean,
$2
it's $10. That's not
McDonald's
good.
taco.
That's hard back, okay? So she's got the money, but I want to ask you guys all something. When I said to you, I have some money, and I'm willing to give this money to whoever would like this money, what kept the rest of you in your seats?
The
Chair.
chair.
Chairs.
How much? Hold on. So barriers. There was barriers in the way. Okay.
Obstacles, yeah.
Barriers.
Never like 1,000. You did like.
Okay. What else? You said not enough,
I
right?
just wanted to know if it was worth it.
Yeah. So was it worth it? Was it worth it? Okay.
We thought you were kidding.
Okay. Was it a joke?
Real money.
I didn't know we could go grab it.
Okay.
You didn't know the
Wait, our
rules.
instructions?
You don't know the rules.
Okay.
Well, I looked too over eager and
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yep. Judging, people judging.
Instructions. This is great. I love this. So you're being embarrassed. You didn't want to be embarrassed. Yeah.
I just thought, I should go get it.
Okay. You had a thought to go get it. Thought about it.
I was just polite.
Okay, polite. I want to be polite.
Yeah, like how you were gonna give it out, like I didn't understand.
Yeah. You want
The
Should I
rules.
instructions?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Comfortable? Okay.
Sit in the church.
It could have been like a Black Friday situation.
Love this. This is great.
I didn't want to die.
It's juicy.
You know what? Honestly, the amount, because had it been $100 bill, I don't really care who it is.
So I'm going to tell you something. That's so good that you said that.
Be honest
Because
with you.
we did this presentation. It was in a larger one. It was like a 2-hour presentation. We have some other incredible experiences in it. It was for a bunch of financial planners. We had a $100 bill,
Yeah, I'd have been up.
and we stood up there, and I said 36 times. Who wants this?
Oh my word.
Hey, 36 times. So this is where this is so good that she said that, because I would have told you this story. It's the
We would
perception.
have been.
Their business is finances. To them, $100 wasn't enough. Where we put that on there, okay? So that was one of their thought process barriers. It wasn't enough. $100. I saw that. I would have been like,
You could buy some Slim with that.
Chair.
I'd have to say sorry after.
So these are, so Trish, you have the the $10. Okay, so tell me, why did you get up and get the $10? What
Because
made
you
you
just
get
said
it?
who wanted it, and I wanted it, and I got up and I decided I didn't care if I was gonna be embarrassed.
So you're like, I'm gonna go get it.
Why, what do I have to lose?
Get it? And I'll tell you, I always say, results are not made in the comfort zone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she got out of her comfort zone.
So true.
So
I feel a
this
little
is
embarrassed
where-
there.
No, don't be
$100, you know?
You're rock stars, guys.
So this is
This
where I'm
really
gonna
would have
poke
been
you.
over there to get
Okay,
it.
this
Our
is where
next
I'm gonna
demo.
poke you, and you might not like me a little bit, but that's okay because I'm here to teach you something. Okay, so I want you to relate this to your business, to Plexus, or to things that are out there in your other world of conversations with your spouses, with your kids, whatever might be going on in your life, but related a lot to your business because this is about your business. Okay, so these are the results that we love to have in our life, and we say we want them. This is what we want. But these right here, these are our excuses and our reasons and our justifications as to why we don't have the stuff we want. So I want you to relate some of these things to where else has there been barriers that you didn't go for something in your Plexus business, that you didn't bother to drive that extra 20 miles to go talk to somebody who really seemed interested. Oh, that's too far. That's a barrier, okay? Or, oh, I don't know, maybe it's just a catch, you know, maybe they're telling me they like it, but, you know, I don't know, I'm just not even gonna bother following up. Their attitude didn't seem okay, you know. Is it worth it? Is that person worth it? Are they gonna be a rock star for me? Or are they gonna be a dud? Yeah, they could be. That's the attitude that you have to have, but sometimes we don't, okay? Is it a joke? I'm waiting for instructions. I'm gonna wait for somebody else to tell me what to do before I go approach those people and talk to those people. I mean, can you kind of relate to it that you've done that before? And this isn't to make you feel bad and be embarrassed. I want you to be aware of it because these small little things right here, being embarrassed to talk about it, oh, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't mention it. You know, she looks really healthy. You know, I don't need to tell her about the pink drink. She doesn't need to lose weight. Well, neither do I, but I still use the product. You know what I mean? You don't know, okay? And, you know, oh, I want to be polite, or I'm going to let somebody else go in front of me instead. Where are you doing this and missing out on your number 2? And you're not seeing the opportunities that are right in front of you. And right now you're an ambassador, and tomorrow you could be an emerald if you wipe some of this off your slate. Okay? That's what we do at Productive Learning. That is our passion. We teach people how to get inside their head, get inside their thought process, understand why they do what they do. And a lot of times it comes clear back from experiences that you've had as a child. Some little childlike perception that you've had, childhood, teenage years, and then you carry it into your adult. And it shows up in your business, shows up in your personal life, it shows up in your work, at your job, it shows up everywhere. I know what my thing is. I've known it for a long time, and then I took our Beyond Reasons workshop, which is the weekend workshop I had all the Plexus girls come down for, because it's a workshop about getting beyond your reasons, your excuses, and your justifications as to why you do what you do. And before I started working with them, I took it. I wanted to see if I believed in their philosophy. I'm a lifelong learner. I've always taken things and read books. And I went in knowing what my thing was, and I realized even more so where it came from, and then I even learned something else about myself. So now I'm so conscious of it that I catch myself all the time. Even now, with all the work that I've done, I catch myself all the time, and I see where I have assumptions and stories I'm telling myself, and I laugh at myself now. And I said, Heather, that's your story running. That has nothing to do with right now. And then I redirect myself into the right path because I've learned the tools to do it. That's what we do. That's what we had the girls come down and do. And they did it mainly for their Plexus business. And I wish I still had I'm sure I probably have it still on my phone. I got tons of texts and emails from them, but one of the girls left me a message, and it was like, blew my mind. She was just like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I ever did. And so it was a lot of fun.
One of the girls, Shawnee said that was them, right? Sabrina LaPlante, I believe,
Yes.
came down. That is the girl that she's under Celeste Gwen. She was the 10,000
Yeah,
10,000
that was
PV
her-
last
that was
month.
her
That's
team.
why
That
we
was
need
her.
to go.
Her whole team.
Yep.
Her whole
I'm
team.
not kidding.
And so
I wanna know
and
what she
there was
did in my
Belinda
dreams.
Contreras that called, and I wish I had. I played it at my next presentation for a big group of business professionals, and she was just like, Heather, she goes, I cannot believe what I learned from this class about myself, and she said, this is the best investment I ever made for myself. She says, thank you so much, girl. I love you. I mean, I call these girls my girls. I'm always posting stuff on Facebook. My Plexus girls are doing this and that, and because I truly believe in your product, because I take it, but I saw the drive and the desire for them to truly want to make this business happen. And so I do coaching calls with them. So that's the beauty of it. And I'll give you an invite to our next ones that are coming up there in March and April.
Okay.
Sold.
It's all
I'm not even kidding.
and
books.
it is.
That's not even surprising that Sabrina did it.
Oh, no.
Because, I mean,
She is
because honestly, I was like, how do you even get over 10,000
She
people?
walked away
And I wanna know.
with one of the CEO's personal numbers to his desk.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
if that doesn't say exactly what, that's what I said. We were talking, then she started talking to Taro, and he was like, you know what? Just give me a phone call on Monday morning. What? Give me a phone call? Like,
I immediately
surprising.
got a hold of her. She's a friend of mine, and all the girls are friends of mine on Facebook now, and we're always plugging things back and forth. And so I got a hold of her, and I said, well, what'd you? Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. And then of course, like I said, they were all over Capistrano Beach, and we're in the Trader Joe's handing out Plexus, and people are all smiling and stuff, and they were just killing me. But it was the beauty of what they were telling me afterward. And the nice thing is with this workshop, it literally, you get coaching call beforehand, you get two coaching calls afterward with the actual trainer that's training it. And then it's also tax deductible, it's a write-off, and if you don't get anything out of the class, they will give you your tuition back.
I don't even care.
Okay. It's normally an $800 value. We don't charge that. That's the time. It's 15 hours. I mean, it's 15 hours. You're going to come down for a weekend, and you are going to be 9 to 5. We're right on the beach. The girls came down for a girls' weekend. They were out in the nighttime doing their dinner thing and stuff and having a good time, and then they went back and trained the next day. And it just blew my mind, the stuff that they were telling me about it. And so you can get it actually for $295. First time customers get it for $395. Because you saw my presentation tonight, you get it for $295. You can easily put down a $50 deposit now, just to hold your space in the discounted price, and then you can pay the rest off by the time the workshop starts. So that's the easy thing about it. And so,
Do you know what weekend it is in March? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a planet girl right now.
it is March 14th and 15th. There's only 10 seats left in there.
I'm in. I'll give you $50 right now.
And then April 11th and 12th is the next one, and we just opened that one a week ago, and there's already 5 people in that one. We max them out though between 30 and 35. We keep it small because we want it to be intimate, so that you can really get involved. Okay? So I'll pass these around to you. If you want to get involved, go ahead and put your information on here. Mark what date. Mark over here. You just want to do your deposit. And then we'll get you guys into the system, and then you can do a little payment for the next 4 months or whatever you want to do, or you can say, I want to just pay the balance due when it starts, whatever you choose. But one of the things I did for my team when I trained my Solpata teams, which is my jewelry company, I told them, I said, if you really want to take this, and it's $295, I go, put your deposit down, and then how much product do you need to sell to invest in yourself and pay for your workshop? And so they were like, oh my gosh. I said, or how many people do you need to sign up on your team so that you can pay for your workshop? I go, and not only are you training yourself and you're investing in yourself, but you're also growing your team because you're using that to pay for your workshop. And then you can write it off on your taxes. So of course everybody's like, oh my gosh, I need to do one party, or I need to sign up one girl, or whatever it was, and they had it paid for. So that's what I want you to think about. If you're going to invest in yourself and you want to learn more, then think, how much product do I need to sell? Or how many people do I need to sign up? And then you're going to grow your team anyway. And the beauty of it is it's guaranteed. If you don't get anything out of it, they will give you your money back. And they have no qualms about it because we believe in what we do. So does anybody have any questions? Is there anything else that I can fill you in on about what we talked about and how your thoughts are and how your assumptions are? I'll hand these. You guys can pass those down.
March or April?
April.
So which
March only has 5.
March has 10.
March only has 5.
Oh, I know,
Yeah,
I gotta look at my.
This right here is her class.
Well, you
The
know
people
what?
in it-
They told me 10.
How about
I can find out if they'll put it up to, sometimes they'll do 35 to 40. And so I hope I have enough for you guys. Like, I don't know how many people were here.
Excuse me, Heather?
Yes.
We'd have to
Are all the classes exactly the same, or do they?
No.
change
We
focus?
have a whole string of classes. So we always,
Which ones are in April and in March?
both of the, well, there's two on here, but what I would recommend for you guys is the Beyond Reasons. That's the weekend workshop. That's kind of the foundation class that you take, because it gets into your thought process and helps you understand the module, but even more so. There's also one called Mind and Business, which directs everything to your business, how you market it, how you talk about it, how you get new customers. But Beyond Reasons does both. It does personal as well as business. The Mind and Business is during the week, and it's once a week for 5 weeks, like from 9 to 12. So, I mean, for people that can come down and go once a week, I say fine, do that if you just want to do it for your business only. But if you want to get it where it crisscrosses and you get both personal and business, I recommend Beyond Reasons. I actually took both, but.
Now, is the Beyond Reasons beneficial for sales outside of
Absolutely.
multi-level marketing?
Yep. It's for everything. It will. It's so hard to explain it. It will rock your world. It really will, because you will walk out of there going, oh my gosh, I did not know I was doing that. I did not know how I was blocking myself, because the whole first day is you're digging into it, and the beauty of it is you can get as verbal as you want in the class or not. Some people, I mean, are in there and they'll be crying and sharing everything, and other people, they're more internal and they're just kind of, but they're still getting everything out of it. It's your choice on how, interactive you want to be. We have sisters come and do it together. We have couples come and do it together. I always tell people, if you know somebody, bring a friend. It's always fun, and that's why when the girls from Simi Valley and Fresno area, I was like, come down and do a girls' weekend. I said, oh my gosh, caravan down, get out there and spread the word about what you do. It's right on the ocean right there, and at night go to dinner. So they did. In fact, Amber Boswell, she actually came down from Simi Valley area and went to dinner with all of them, her and her husband. So they kind of did a team, kind of a fun meeting type thing like that. I also want to raffle off 2 of my books for you guys. So this is my book, Bookings When You Have No Bookings. And again, it's for party plan, but it's for regular sales. It's for network marketing. When you look at some of the chapters in here, my very first chapter is, does your thought process limit your success? I talk all about that. You can't move forward until you get out of your own way. How can you make your business a new reality, overflowing with appointments and events on your calendar? Set the times you're going to work, choose the days you're going to work, who are you going to call, how to get people to call you back, what am I going to say? There's scripts in here for what to say. All kinds of great stuff. Fortune is in the follow-up. So lots of goodies. You can get it on Amazon as a hard copy or as download.
If we have more than 10,
I do
then
have more.
April, but
if you want to get one, they're $10.
I know, I'd
I'll
rather
raffle
go
off
sooner.
2 of them.
I gotta grab my
So you ready to roll?
calendar. And we have 2 other things to
And we
So,
have
team, who all is going on
Trish.
that day?
Trish,
You're
woohoo! 10 Santa book!
She needs to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
She got it.
You go, girl.
Right. She got the $10 and the book. All right. This next one. And Wendy.
Yay.
Yay!
How do you spell that? That's cute. There you go. You're welcome. So yeah, so I hope you guys learned some good stuff. Is there anything else I can answer for you? Yes.
This has to be done tonight, is that what you're saying?
You've just got to put your deposit down tonight so that you can keep the discounted price, the $295. Otherwise, they make it go up. If those 2 dates don't work for you for some reason, still do your deposit. It'll hold your site, and I'll get you some other dates that will come after that. And then if we can get one to work for you in May or whatever, we can do that. It's just